Here's a Hohner Club 2B Victoria. Nice older instrument. It did come to me. The owner had, purchased it used somewhere, and but it was in somewhat rough condition. Not physically so much, but for instance, the grill cloth was completely missing, which meant that all sorts of dirt and fuzz and junk had gotten inside under the grill and into the keyboard, and I got some pictures of that, I believe. So it took some cleaning to get all that straightened out, and at some point it must have experienced some heat or something, because there were several of the on the treble side, the pallets that had sort of drifted down. I've got a picture of that, and weren't even holding air. They had shifted down so far that they were just permanently leaking, so it would play notes even without pushing a button. I've got a picture of me locating those. I did repad the C and F row on this instrument. The accidental row, actually, which is the hardest to get to, fortunately already had been repadded with a green felt-backed cushioned pad, so I left them alone. Likewise, on the bass and chord side, they were had that same green cushioned pads. Plus, they had another layer of leather on the soundboard on the bass chord side. I think there's a picture of that too. What else? It did have all leather valves everywhere, so those all had to be replaced. I took all the reed plates off, cleaned them, put modern plastic valves on, re-waxed them back in position. When I had it apart, I did discover that some of the several of the reed blocks were either cupped or actually twisted. And I've got a short video I'll play now showing how I rectify that particular issue. So here's a reed block that's nicely flat. So I've got an 8 thousandths Bellinger shim here, and it really doesn't go underneath the bottom of the reed block at all. Whereas this one's in bad shape. This is a 1/2 millimeter, about 20 thousandths shim. It goes right in, all the way up to there. It starts hitting there, goes all the way in there. And this is worse than that. Not only is it cupped, it's twisted. So we need to sand the bottom of it. So here's that twisted one. I'm just going to put some witness marks on the bottom of the block. This will help me determine if we've removed all that cupping and stuff. Okay, so we're getting the one side. This is getting rid of some of the twist, but we still have some witness lines there. That should be a lot better. Just try it here. Yep, the wiggle's gone, and I'm down to my 8 thousandths thing, and it's not going in anywhere. Okay, fixed. Another thing was, even before I repadded it, the button height was quite low, so I waited after I repadded the C and F rows. I went and changed the button height to be a more normal height. They were not quite so low. What else? I did find when I was tuning it that some of the very, very, very high notes didn't speak as well as they could, and I added small holes into those reed chambers, as they do in modern instruments. It has been discovered that that does help the very, very high reeds to speak more properly or easier. Anything else? I added an anti-resonance crossbar between the C and F reed blocks. There were some notes that had that undesirable wah-wah effect even after tuning. Now, this instrument was originally came out of the factory at A435. I didn't really change that, but what I did do is I tuned it 0 plus. I mean, one set of reeds was right on pitch, and the next set was all sharp of that, with a spread on the two notes so that it was about a 2 hertz beat frequency on the tremolo low notes up to about 6. So it's not as wet as a standard Hohner, but still a very pleasant sound, and it's a wonderful sounding box. It is one of those that has the 6-note basses rather than the standard 5, so it's quite rich in that. So what else? I did replace the grill cloth. The customer wanted a silver grill cloth. I had a couple options to choose from. I think I have a photo of that, and he picked this one, so that's what we've gone with. It was missing a couple of the pins, and I had to do some work on the Bellows straps to bring it back to life, but it's a club configuration. I don't really play club, but I can go through the notes, and so you can hear it. Accidentals down here as well as here. What else? Before I forget, I did also replace the Bellows gaskets. So now it's the nice foam, closed cell foam gaskets there. Fantastic basses. You may have noticed the air button. It has this huge elongated slot, so the air button works incredibly fast, which is very nice. Hohner, Club 2B, 2-voice, button accordion, the keys of C and F. It's the Victoria model.